no need to go to China or Japan. Tea is made in Italy. Hi guys, this is Gabriele from nannuoshan, where we share the pleasure of drinking and discovering genuine farm tea. Today it's a kind of a special day. You know I am from Italy, you heard from my accent, and today will be the first time in my life that I will drink tea cultivated and processed in Italy, in northern Italy. We have here 3 different teas, 2 green teas from the spring 2022, very fresh, this year green tea, and then we have a white tea processed kind of like a Baimudan from 2020. It's already a couple of years old, which for white tea is a good thing. You know that white tea can be consumed also when aged. So here we are, 2 years old white tea. I'll do a side-by-side comparison today to find out if it's really worthy to go to China and Japan to get tea, or if actually here in Europe we can have also good tea. Already some years ago, I did videos already from tea cultivation in the US. I was in the Mississippi. And today we have here 3 teas from Europe. That's not the only tea garden in Europe though. There are many others actually, a little bit hidden in Switzerland, in UK, I think even in France. Those of you that know other cultivated areas in Europe or in the US, please write it in the comments below. Also write the website where we can get the tea so that we can also profit and try some local tea. But now let's jump into tea made in Italy. Let's see if the tea made in Italy is up to the coffee made in Italy. We have, as we said here, a green tea, fairly large leaves, I would say, with some buds, but also large leaves. So this green tea looks a little bit like a Baimudan plug with maybe 1 bud and 2 leaves. Then we have a darker green tea, fairly darker, and also the leaves are a little bit more needle shaped. I mean, it's not the right needle, but they are twisted more along the length like this. And then we have a classic Baimudan. Here you really recognize just by looking at that. You see that you have some leaves, not too large. You have some buds as well. No. Let's see if I can take one. Here we have a tiny leaf and a tiny bud. And we will go with the tasting. I want really to do them all in parallel to find out commonalities and differences. They are supposed to come from more or less the same region, but not exactly the same garden. We actually are not 100% sure, but I will give you more details in the moment. First of all, I want to get my first sip of Italian tea. I had already Italian coffee today, but not yet Italian tea. Water is at 85 degrees. I will just keep it like that because I would do 80 degrees for green tea, 90 degrees for white tea, and so I thought, let's stop somewhat in the middle. Let's see what comes out of here. I will use a strainer as well. And I know that I need about 15 seconds between pouring from the first guy one and then from the next. So that's more or less what I am waiting here when I pour water in a guy one and then to the next. All right, really excited. I've been into this for so long. I even ignored for a long time that there was tea made in Italy. And then more recently, a customer and a friend from Italy, Arno, that I'm going to thank you right now, grazie Arno, sent me over these 3 different teas to try out. Let's see what about the color of the brew. We say that these leaves are fairly darker, and actually the brew is more, it's kind of brighter, is of a brighter green. This one is a little bit more dull. And that's the bamboo done. That is also closer to the first one. Looks also similar actually. I mean the dry leaves. Fruity, fruity. Oh, very different. These so fruity, vegetal with a tiny bit of unripe note into it. Fairly consistent, white tea. Yeah, even just from the smell you can tell. So at the first glance, I'm quite happy about the processing of this tea. Just by looking and smelling of the leaves, I've seen they have been properly processed, which is not always the case with tea that you find in the East. It's all processed Chinese style. This is particularly interesting in terms of aroma. It's very complex. I get some additional notes now, not only those fruity notes from the beginning. Yeah, these, let's see how it is in the brew, but this unripe note reminds me of tea that is not heated up enough. So where the chashin, the kildigrein, was not done long enough, so it's not de-enzymized enough. Although the leaves are fairly green nonetheless, but it has somewhat an unripe note, or maybe not heated up at high enough temperature. Okay, sorry, I really need to try this. I'll just go in order. I try with the first green tea. That's good. Wow, I'm kind of surprised because it's really good quality. You know, I mean, we're speaking about a tea garden in northern Italy. Northern Italy is not warm, and the tea plant is a subtropical plant. It adapts also for harsher climate, but in this place you get frost every year. So, I mean, at least that's my bet. I mean, it's next to the Lago Maggiore, the Maggiore Lake. In a region that actually is overlapping with Switzerland, so we are almost at the same latitude, actually about the same latitude as southern Switzerland in the Alps. So it's an alpine tea actually, yeah. And nonetheless, it's full of flavor. I say very fruity. Tiny bit of tropical fruit even. And reminds me a lot of green tea from Yunnan, large leaf green tea from Yunnan. Let's move on to the next one, the pale one. Yeah, not sure, maybe on my shirt you can appreciate the difference in color. Mix them up, let's go see it. Very bright. I like it less just because it has this unripe taste also in the brew. It's not so extreme, so it's not unpleasant, but in terms of complexity and warmth, I like more this one. Yeah, it's also both teas are not super refreshing, so it's more of an intense and complex and warm taste. In particular, this one here, extremely fruity. You have to remind, all these teas are not flavored, there is no aroma inside, it's just a natural leaf. Let's see, this will also convince me, I already know the white tea. And I tell you more, I believe that this tea can render even well at higher temperature. So now I move on to 90 degrees. It's a good white tea, yeah. Not flat, not too aromatic, but we know white tea is very seldom very aromatic. It's very pleasant. There is a tiny fruity note though. Of course, after drinking this green tea, the aromatics in this one is at another level. Like this is really wow, into your face. You know, it's very present, it's very there. In white tea, the search for the taste, as I said, you have to search for it. It's a bit more subtle, but very clean. Also, the mouth feeling is not too watery, not too thick. It's just right there. Very nice tea. Yeah. While this one can, maybe some of you could find it even too extreme and too aromatic in a way. This is so well balanced. It's, yeah, hard to get a white tea so balanced. I haven't tried many teas done in the Western world, but I can already say that these are not among the best, are the best. Yeah. I would exclude the central one, as I told you. There are some notes that are not convincing me 100%, but the other two, yes. Yeah. If you would have given me blind to taste them, I would have bet they are from China. Bet. And when you would have told me, well, they are from Italy, I would have just, when you know things afterwards, it's a different story. Now I know it in advance and it's a bit easier. All right, let's do like this. I'm drinking alone today, 3 different guys, when I can't really drink up everything if I want the video to be somewhat within the range of your patient. Yeah, by this time, I will tell you soon more about the teas. I haven't shown yet any bags, any tea container, just because it's really the first time I'm trying them and I don't want to speak badly about producers. So for that reason, I tried the tea first. Even in the thumbnail, you don't see where the tea comes from. And then I thought, if the tea is good, if I to my liking, then I will reveal to you more detail about the producer, about how to get it, whether you can get it, and so on and so forth. So just give me a second, I have 2 hands, and then I'll share with you my screen and I will show you a few details about this tea. Anyway, my congratulations to whoever processed those. Good job. And also cultivated, right? I mean, it must be a challenge to cultivate this tea at those latitudes. The other way around. We start with the way more intense white tea. We have 5 degrees higher temperature water. I wouldn't say I've steeped them for much longer, but we have a different, very nice amber color. The tea, generally speaking, is very clean. I don't get a lot of residues on the filter. White tea. Stronger, more, it's stronger. It's it's not as balanced as before. So I really would suggest to go with 85, maybe even 80 degrees with this tea. I think was really perfect, that temperature. Now it gets more strength. Of course, if you are into stronger tea, then increase the temperature. In the taste, I have no sign of butter, no sign of bread, no sign of yeast, and no sign of corn, that are all aspects that I sometimes get into white tea. It's just very clean. A little bit of hay, but not too much pronounced. Now we go with the bright green tea. Yeah, and let's have a look also at the leaves. Now actually the leaves are closer to each other. Like, of course, in the Maimudan, you clearly see that it's oxidized. These leaves have been withered for 3 days. Here you clearly see also some level of oxidation. That is also a confirmation that there is more that have gone on in this tea, and this is really flesh green and very homogeneous color of the leaves. So let me show that to you. That's the green tea, the one I like the most. Then we have this one here, that's the darker one. And then we have the white tea here. I remember now, this tea reminds me of Juyechin. Juyechin is a tea from Sichuan that is has very thick buds, and especially if you don't heat up enough the buds, you don't get all the heat through the buds because it's so thick and it requires some time, and then it remains too green. So this is a green tea that, to my taste, is a little bit too green. I would say that's the best way to describe it. Yeah, so let me show you the containers of those teas. Oh, that's good. I will start with those two on the side. So here we are. We have Tè Verde del Lago Maggiore, green tea from Maggiore Lake. And we have Tè Bianco del Verbano, white tea from Verbano, which is a city and a province in northern Italy. So although the name from lake, from Verbano to different places, they are extremely close to each other. Might be, I mean, it's not exactly the same patch of garden, but very, very close to each other. The center one look a little bit different. It comes in this bag. However, I was told that it's actually the same producer. It's just packed for another shop, but it's the same producer. And I was told that these two are made from the same tea garden, and this is made from another one. But we are not 100% sure, and at the end, it doesn't matter. So now let me give you some more information about the region, the producer. Let me share my screen with you. So that's their website, is Asso Te Infusi, so .it, you can see it up here. And I already on the page of the white tea, yeah, it's not the home page here, unfortunately it's mainly in Italian. There is Tè Bianco del Verbano, the white tea, you know, on Chrome you can translate the page in English if you want. So that's the tea that I am drinking. You have a lot of information in here. Let's see what they have. You're lucky today, I can translate it for you. So it says that the processing is based on a traditional Chinese method. You have it here, metodo tradizionale cinese, like Baimodan, something that we have discovered straight away. It looks like a Baimodan. It's 72 hours of withering, appassimento, that's withering, and then they have dried it out slowly at low temperature. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. It's also interesting here, there is the name of the tea master, Marco Bertona. So my congratulations to Marco. Here he is. He's a professionist for tea. He got in 2006, so quite some time ago, a Chinese certification for as a tea master. Here you are. So yeah, incredible that there are these tea lovers in Italy that don't only love drinking tea, but dedicate quite a few years actually in developing the skills to produce tea. And up here, if you want, you have also the green tea. So just to show it to you, that's Lago Maggiore. Here we have the green tea. Let's see what they say. Blah, 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 blah. It says made of soli germogli, which is partially true. Germogli in Italian means buds. We have seen there are not only buds in that. let's see how they process it. They give quite a few details here. So they have the enzymated dry. It means that it's not done like a Japanese green tea that is steamed. Is actually heated dry. So more Chinese style. Then impastamenti manuali leggeri means that is slightly, I can show that to you. This one here, this movement, yeah, is what they call impastare. It's like when you do the dough for the bread, actually, but just slowly a little bit. We have seen that. I bet in this one, they haven't done it. This one, they haven't done it. But here you can see that little oxidation that you have on these leaves. That's what is telling you that the tea has been oxidized a little bit, probably during that process, while the other one is more homogeneous in color and doesn't have that oxidation. All right, what else they say? They say that after that, they have dried the tea multiple times, also using just heat, dry, probably dry hair or maybe in an oven. And then at the very end, they complete the drying again slowly and at low temperature. Nice. Here you have the tea. Looks like mine. Tac. So what unfortunately I have to tell you is that it's not easy to get. You can check your details if you know Italian on the website. It seems you have to be a member of an association to get it, but maybe you can contact the producer, you can tell him about the video, and maybe you can get the tea. Really, I strongly suggest it. My favorite, you know it already, is this green tea. The white tea is also a very good white tea, better than many other Baimudan that I had in China. That's all. I think I will continue enjoying these two teas, and I will see you next week. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I almost forgotten that. I always forget it till the end. And to give us a like if you have enjoyed this video. Bye guys.